Jambo mpenzi mtazamaji. This is a phrase I borrowed from the great journalist of this nation. So the channel is Troitich Patrick Egan. Welcome aboard. Today we are having a career mentorthon with one great woman, Mary Burugu. Welcome and have a great day. Karibu Mary.
Asante.
How has it been?
It has been good.
Safari imekuwa refu.
Imekuwa mrefu lakini tutafika tu.
Thank God you are here.
Yeah.
So Mary, I want us to talk about career mentorthon. I want us to talk about what careers means, what being a teacher means, because I know you're a teacher. But before we introduce the career part of being a teacher, I want you to face the camera and tell us about yourself.
Okay, Mary is a teacher. I have come here because we have walked a journey of writing a book. And I thank God, even beyond being a teacher, God has made me an author, my first book to write. And I thank God that we are here.
Mm-hmm. I read you are also a mentor.
I'm also a mentor, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have mentored many ladies and men. I have a group that I call mentorship program, Favored Innovators. We call them Favored Innovators. They are young men and women from my parish. I'm a Presbyterian from my parish, where I mentor them on the way to build themselves in investment, in spiritual way, and the way they can empower one another to become somebody. You know, many times young men and women don't have somebody to tell them what to do. You have a shilling, you don't know where to put it because it cannot make anything. For this mentorship, I tell them on reality that even beyond getting married, beyond getting educated, you need to know and plan for your future. You need to start somewhere, and that is what we usually do.
Okay.
For this group that I call Favored Innovators, we are almost 50 young men and women from my parish whom I mentor. They are from different congregations, they are from different level of education, they are from different level ethnic group, but we come together monthly to pray together, to do things together, to put our little coins together, and they have done a lot.
Nice one. That is multiple blessings. We call them multi-talent. So Mary, I want us to talk about your teacher career.
I'm a teacher who started from a very low grade. I don't say I was the high scholar. No. I started as a P1 teacher, where I went in college as a mother, not as a girl, as a mother. I had 2 children, I had Lahab and I had Ben. And I left them at home with my husband as I went to school. After completing P1, immediately through God's grace, I scored highly in P1. So I was employed immediately in the year 2000. 2000 I was employed with the ACK Church. I taught for 1 year, then I was taken by TSC through God's grace, because that time teachers were not getting employed, but I was employed. So after teaching for some time, I never took long time before I was made an examination department head. Maybe, I don't know, through God's grace, because I don't say it is hard work, I was made the examination head. Then transferred to a special school. I was also made an examination department head, games head, pastoral head, and also the welfare head. I was learning 4 departments in the same institution. And gradually I became a senior teacher, gradually I became a deputy head teacher. And I thank God. After that, I have been posted to Burugu County, where I'm serving as for many departments. And this far, I have seen God, that He has been faithful. I've been there for now my 2nd year.
Somebody may just imagine you just popped somewhere and went to college. So we want to know, which primary school, where you started reading?
I was from Pasenga Primary School. Me have done it the hard way. At Basenga, when I was in class 7, my father passed on.
I'm sorry.
And the journey from there has not been easy. It has been a struggle. After completing class 8, by God's grace, I was called in a high school, but I couldn't make it. My mother couldn't make it. I was not able to go to the school that I was called in. So I went into a day school because that is where we could afford. When we went there, we were with my sister. We made an agreement amongst ourselves. We made a memorandum of understanding. Neither one of us will get a child before we complete school. So we were that tough that we were staying in a house alone, 2 girls, because that is where my father was before he died. He had a shamba. We were getting fed for ourselves. We could either cultivate people's land or we could go and plant maize within our shamba. We had 2-acre shamba. We planted maize, and mom could come and sell that maize to pay our school fees. Even the principal knew these 2 girls, they would go and harvest pyrethrum. We had pyrethrum half an acre. We had planted ourselves so that they come and pay fees. So we were never sent home because the principal knew as he was going through the village, these 2 girls, you always meet them at the shamba. They are alone, they stay alone, but they are people who are determined to go through education. It was not easy, Patrick. It is through God's grace that today I'm here.
Which school is this?
That is Chenga Karume High School.
Molo, eh?
Molo.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Pongezi.
Yes.
So from there, where's your sister?
From there, my sister is an entrepreneur. Really, she has made it. Surely the agreement and the memorandum, we kept it.
Is it great?
It was a great memorandum because nobody could go and sleep outside our Kaina house. 2 of us. No parent, no brother to look after us, no sister to look after us. We were only 2 tiny girls. 1 GB. Patrick, I was 1 GB. And God has been gracious. So after finishing school, me, I came to Nakuru. I was employed somewhere as a shopkeeper. After that, I got married. After that, that is when I went to college after getting 2 children. Just 1 man. I like that. I really remember my late elder, John Jeka Jologi. He's the one who saw this girl is not just a normal girl, together with Peterson Day, who was the chair of the church then. And Jeka came because I was trying to become a nurse. I never thought to be a teacher. That was not in my mind. I hated teachers, and they may not hear me. I hated to be a teacher, but I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to nurture people. I wanted to work with people who are in pain. So I felt that I want to be a nurse. After doing interviews and going for interview for 6 years, I was never taken. But there came a chance. 1 man told me, you are never a nurse. Even you don't look like a nurse. You are a teacher. And it is because I was coming to church. Even he made me to hate church. Telling me to become a teacher and I want to be a nurse, and he was a doctor, by the way. Instead of helping me to become a nurse, he's telling me, you will be a teacher. But today I can see what he saw. Me, I never saw it. He saw it. And that is when I went and wrote a letter for a private college, and I had no money. I was selling charcoal. I had opened a small kiosk. That is why I'm an entrepreneur even now, as being a teacher. Because I opened a small kiosk where I was selling milk and charcoal. And he said, no, I know your certificate does not allow this. And one time he asked me to bring the certificates. When I gave the late John Jega Joroge, may God give him rest, because he was a great man. He said, I'm going to get a letter. I know your father is not there. I'll be your father. I'm bringing a letter for you to go to college.
I think I read about that story in the Superwomen.
Yeah.
About the pen.
The pen. Then they organized with somebody else who was called Peterson Devo, and the church fraternity, the Burugu PCA church. They organized. We were in a small church. They organized to bring a pen. And when they brought that pen, they said, this pen will never get finished until you come and serve us in the church. And today, here I am. I'm serving the church with the same pen.
Nice
and
one.
the pen has written this book and will write many other because it will never get finished. It was an inspired pen that I was given.
College life, day one.
Wow, college life. When I remember day one, I went to Meru from here. We were with my husband. We reached somewhere. We had no fare. We had no fare to go Patrick. So the little that we were given by the church as a pen, hey, we slept somewhere, and early in the morning, we told each other, go back to Nakuru as I go and look where the college is. And he came back. I went to college. He almost finished an year without coming because the transport was too high. Are we going to feed the children, to pay my school fees, or to continue with the church? It was tough. My brother, it was tough. So, college life, first day I can remember when I reached the gate, I looked at it. There were young girls and boys running all over, others being brought by vehicles, others doing great things. When I entered that college, I told myself, I've come alone, I'll go back alone, I'll make a distinction. And for sure I made it. When I went there, others could remove their rings and say, I'm not married, because life was there. But me, I said, I'll remain a married person. And I even was made the chairperson of CU and the chairperson of all the parents who are in that college. So even when I was graduating, I was given a gift as the best mother, the best parent in that college. And surely when the results came out, I had a distinction. That's why I was employed when others were not being employed.
I think you're reminding me something in Kiswahili. Huwa tunasema mwera. The chick who, it is in English, the chick who will grow into a cock is seen when it is hatched.
Sure.
I think this has been something consistent in you. The leadership, people have been seeing it, and I think the late was very right. So tell us the experience. How is it being in a teacher's college?
Okay, in a teacher's college, as you have said, it's very true. Leadership is seen at an early stage. All the way from primary school to high school, I've been a leader. How, I don't know. Because I felt myself as a shy person, somebody who is an introvert. It only came to me that I was an extrovert when things started happening. You know, when I've been given that chance to read. So I want to say that during many times that I've been there, college life has been an easy way. It has not been an easy way. It has been hard, but consistent with what you are doing and making choices that are right and doing things that are right will always make you succeed in life. It doesn't matter the challenges, it doesn't matter the storms, you'll always overcome the challenges. Because together with God, one thing which has really helped me is that throughout I've trusted God. I have walked with God. I have known my God. And I'm never defined, nobody defined my God to me. I make my own choices. That is my motto. Always I tell people, make your own choices. You are not influenced by anybody. Be yourself, and always you will succeed.
Okay. So tell us this experience a teacher gets when you go into a teacher's college. What are you normally taught?
Okay, when you want to become a teacher, and you are taken in college, one thing, you will go expecting maybe it's something just go in class and teach. You have to go through training. This training, there are some lessons you take in college. You get subjects, currently you are choosing the subjects to teach, the main subjects. Then you are trained. Then after season, you go for practicals. The practicals, you go to take them in schools where you will get children. But during the training, you have the tutors who are training you, who are teaching you. you are taking subjects like English, mathematics, the way you take other subjects. You go through the subject, especially in P1, you take all the subjects. So maybe you had not done music, there you do music. You had not done art and craft, you do it. But again, you will specialize with those subjects that you feel that these are my subjects. Yeah. So when you enter into a teacher training school, as a student, you need also to be assertive. Many times you think maybe you are a small-bodied and you go in high school and you get girls and boys who are too big. You have to be assertive. You must know you are the facilitator. They are the runners. So take your position as a teacher and go and deliver. You need also to prepare. We don't just go to class taking a book and thinking that you go and teach a lesson for learners to understand. No, you have to prepare. That is why we have things like we call schemes of work, lesson plans, progress record. We have so many documents, and especially now, the T part, something we are doing it online. A teacher always learn. You keep on learning day after the other. You keep on adding knowledge. That is why currently we are moving with the emerging issues. A teacher always moves with emerging issues. When it comes to HIV/AIDS, you are there to teach. When it comes to COVID-19, you are there to give guidance and also to teach learners on how to stay safe. When it comes to floods, when we have floods, you have to know how to tell the learners to take precautions. So a teacher is a no loud person.
Okay.
When a child gets sick, you are the one to
Attend.
to attend to. When a child gets injured, you are the one to do it. When a child lost a parent, you are the one to become now a parent. So a teacher is all loud.
We have a Form 4 student. Let's say he wants to pursue a career in teaching. What are some of the considerations you'll tell this particular person?
One, teaching is so good, and especially in Kenya. Many students, you ask them, what do you want to be? Not many will tell you they want to be a teacher. But let me tell you, currently, the person who is highly paid in Kenya is a teacher. I'll tell you for free. You may not know. And from the beginning, tell me in your village who have got a good modern house. They were teachers. Who had a good vehicle. They were teachers. Why? Because it is a profession with a blessing. If you do it well, you get a lot of blessing. Those children, when you meet them and the child have succeeded in life, you feel encouraged. You can get and see fruits of what you have done. Teachers are super. They are people who work with these learners and they move a journey with them. So if you admire and you feel that you want to become a teacher, you have chosen a good thing. Jesus Christ was a teacher and he saved the world. So teachers, we save the world. No doctor is a doctor without a teacher. No policeman is a policeman without a teacher. No accountant is an accountant without a teacher. Many people degrade teachers, but I want to tell you, teachers is a good profession. So, if you want to become a teacher as a young man, as a young boy, that is where somewhere you can progress. You can imagine I started as a P1 teacher. Currently, I'm doing my master's, I've graduated, I've empowered myself. You have all the time, by the way, because you are interacting with the books. Being a teacher is the one which has inspired me even to write. Because you are always in books. You are always doing something. So, I'll tell that person who is admiring and thinking of becoming a teacher, you have chosen good profession.
It's even good you have mentioned about the masters and all that, because I wanted to ask this question. What are the career progressions a teacher is served with? Okay, you have your diploma or your degree. Then from there, what happens? What are the inner things we don't see on the face value?
Okay, one thing, when you start progressing, a teacher, when you graduate from one level to another, there is that upward grading. When I graduated from P1, I became maybe a P1. After that, after doing my diploma, I went to another level. When I do my degree, you have that professional upgrade from what you studied. When you get to masters, you can even integrate yourself now from classroom teacher to other institutions, maybe in office or maybe in other fields, because you have been given that chance. And many times there are so many open doors when you define yourself as a teacher, because they know a teacher will go far and wide. So there are so many things you can do. And even leadership is given to these people who are teachers. Go and ask politically, those people who are teachers, they get into places. Go even to other fields, community empowerment, you get teachers. Teachers are always known. Go and do an interview when you are a teacher. Most likely you'll be taken if you are a good teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your first day experience as in the classroom. You have graduated, or you are doing the TP. What was the hardest thing?
During the TP, the hardest thing that I had, there were boys who were big. It was in Melu, and it was a TP. And the boys were big, and I was a Kataine girl. And you can see, they are seeing you as a tool to be used. They don't see you as a teacher. And also the regular teacher, the one who is hosting us. We TP teachers and being the host. They are undermining. They don't see you as if you are going to deliver to the learners the lesson and the topic you are teaching. So they are in class. So you can imagine it's the first lesson and the intimidation of the regular teacher being there, watching at you. You don't know if you are going to read the notes or to take the textbook or to write. Even when you are writing upside down. The writings are not straight. You are starting from the top, finishing at the end, and you are writing a sentence. So everybody is laughing at you. And Patrick, I was laughed at. And I felt, oh my, will I make a teacher? Will I be a good teacher? And that one was a motivation factor. When I went back to college, I could write from 9 to midnight, writing on the blackboard to see that I'm writing straight lines, so that I will not be laughed at the following day. That is how it started. It was funny. I wrote a sentence from the top, and the teacher told me, do you want to be a teacher? Who are you? In my class, you to teach again.
And the people who are there?
And the people who are there. So you feel you are down.
Okay, you are a special teacher, no? Given that, so how did you transition from being a regular teacher to teaching in special schools?
We call it SNE. SNE, it's like a calling. I've told you from the beginning, my calling was to work with the vulnerable people. I felt that I want to be a nurse. I want to work to empathize with people when they are in pain.
Yeah.
So a chance came that the first school that I was posted by the government, Gano Primary School in Jolo, a child became sick, meningitis, and she lost her hearing. I can recall that girl, she was Teresia. And one time as I was going to school, that girl I met, she was almost raped. So I took the girl, because the boy ran away. I took the girl, went with the girl to the parent, and I told the parent, allow me to be coming to pick this girl, go with the girl at school and stay with the girl. I bring the girl back home. The girl was so too beautiful to be wasted as a shepherd. So as we went there, one day assessment team came from the county. By then it was the province. When they came, they meet me with like a girl sitting in front, trying to explain things because she couldn't hear and she couldn't speak, and the others are teaching. And the officer asked me, why are you staying with this girl in front? And I explained to the officer. And whatever I was teaching, because they were there, They had written so well, and they said by then, the school that I was teaching, it was becoming last. And when we did our mocks, my class was in position 4. So they had come to see what miracle was done in this class. That in the whole location it is number 4, and they are always last.
At the back.
So they met me there with a girl, and my class was position 4, and they asked, so it is doable in this school, people can perform. You teachers, you don't teach. If this guy, I was called a girl, by the way, because I was young. But you remember I had that drive from a private school to a public school. So I was doing my best. All through me, I usually say, I'll do my best. Then with God, I know I will succeed. So when they met the girl, the next minute after the staff meeting, I was given a letter. Mary, this is your letter. You have walked for 7 kilometers for over 4 years. We are transferring you today. You will report on Monday at Gala Special School for the deaf. With your girl, don't leave your girl here, go with her and report to Gala Special. And again, this is a letter. Go to Kenya Institute of Special Education. Go and study, go and take your diploma. By then, it was not easy to get that diploma. And it was given free just because of a vulnerable girl that I took and stayed with her. That is how I entered myself into a special education.
And that is how I met you in Ngara.
Yeah.
God.
It is God.
Hapo, if you say it is God, it is true, it is God.
It is only
from the message of the late remind me, Stanley?
The late John Cheka Jeroge.
Yes. And he saw this, and you can see you are now serving. So tell us, I think you have some very good money as teachers, eh? Yes.
Some good?
Very good money. You go to the bank laughing.
We go all the way to the bank laughing. That is what the newspapers say. What teachers have is that the little they get, they manage. Money is not much, money is not plenty, it's only what you have, you manage. I may have 10 shillings, and you may have 100 shillings, but my 10 shillings, I use it well. What teachers do, they use their money well. They are paid little, but they use and manage their money.
Hey, end of story. But you encourage someone to do this course because eventually they'll be earning well.
Yeah, I'm saying coming to become a professional teacher, biblically it is good. Because how can we have people who have other professions without a teacher? So a teacher is like a bridge. And you know, a bridge is always blessed. A bridge is always blessed. You leave your dust and I'm blessed. You cross over and I'm blessed. I meet with you, Patrick, you tell me have a cup of tea and I'm blessed. Okay. Because always you leave your dust.
Now, I want you to tell me the teacher who inspired you most.
Wow. The teacher who inspired me most, one was Mr. Wamba. He was my maths teacher. And the inspiration was not that good. He could get the whips. You know that time, the whips. Cyprus whips. And by the time he is entering in class, you'll have said multiplication. If it is 12 to 12, 12 times 1 up to 12 times 12, if you fail one, he is not the one who will tell you to come in front and kneel down. You just get yourself there, kneeling down and saying, I lost 3, so beat me 3 whips. And that is how I became a maths teacher. That man inspired me. That man really was hard on us. And it's like our class 8 by then in Pasega Primary. We achieved almost all of us a score of an A in mathematics, Mr. Wamba. Though today he is late, but I can tell you, we were in the same class with his son, and the son was not getting mathematics. And he could tell me, I will kill myself. My father is beating me too hard. Come here, Tujikaze. And I'm telling you today, he is also a maths teacher. We usually meet and ask him, do you beat your children the way we were beaten? And he tells me, what? Me, I cancel. Because the fight that I was beaten, it was totally enough. But again, I always have a whip.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Challenges being a teacher.
Challenge of being a teacher, as I've said, you take so many roles that nobody understand, and nobody will get to understand. As I've said, many people degrade teachers, and you hear people say it is very difficult to work with a teacher because a teacher make himself know it all. No, a teacher is not a know it all. Situations and circumstances make that teacher to know it all. When you bring a child without food, what do I do? I go and make food for that child. So I go and beg to give this child. I become a parent to that child. When you bring me a child who is sick, what do I become? A doctor. So I take the child and go and prescribe drugs and give the child. If it is Panadol, I give the child Panadol. Because the fever is high. Okay. Many times when you bring a child who is abused at home, that child open up to the teacher. The confident wake ni the teacher. So the child tells me, my father harassed me or my uncle harassed me. What do I become? A lawyer for this child. So I take a child to the chief and to hospital and to so many things. And that is why you tell us teachers are know it all. Because this child, I become a lawyer. I also become a judge. I also become the person, the mentor of this child. I want to tell this child, you are an engineer. So what do I become? An engineer myself, to tell him or her who an engineer is. So teachers are people who are all loud. You become a parent. When one loses a parent, you become a parent to that child. You become a parent and you start making that child to improve in life. So that is a teacher.
To those who want to be teachers, I want you to speak to them as a parting shot.
Those who want to be teachers, it is a good thing to choose to be a teacher. And also it is a bad thing. Why? If you mislead one of these children, or you do things against the will of God or against the will of law to this child, you are in for late. Because teachers are the mentors. But when you do it well, teachers are always blessed. That is why you think as if we go laughing all the way to bank. It's only because God bless the little that we have because of what we have done to this child. Imagine giving me a child who doesn't even know how to wipe their nose. And I'll give you a doctor, I'll give you an engineer, I'll give you another teacher, I'll give you a politician. So it is good to admire and become a teacher. You will never regret if you do it right.
I will never regret.
Yes.
For me, I have a shout out to my teachers. Mr. Kangogo, Mr. Philemon Kangogo. Kangogo Wilson was my head teacher. Mr. Ngeno, Madam Grace, Madam Jane. I have my high school teachers, Akina Benjamin, and Dr. S.M. Marigat. I don't know if you know him. He is currently, I think, he's a doctor. In fact, we graduated with him, but he's now in other roles, the ones we were discussing. So, guys, it has been a career mentorthon today with a teacher, learning on what a teacher does, and it has been great, Madam Mary.
Thank you.
I hope and I want to see you grow and be a blessing to each and everyone. So to the viewers, thank you for being with us. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much. We are grateful.